Thanks very much for coming to our talk. Today, I'll be presenting on a large-scale measurement of cybercrime against individuals in the United States. This is joint with Dr. Cormac Herley and Dr. Elissa Redmiles. For motivation, let's look at what three leading media outlets are saying about cybercrime. Bloomberg reports that cybercrime costs the global economy over $1 trillion. The New York Times reports on an iceberg of unseen crimes, that many cyber offenses go unreported. And finally, Forbes ran a piece on some very alarming cybersecurity statistics in 2022. However, there's very little scientific evidence for these claims, and these assertions are often based on studies with flawed or missing methodologies. So why do we care about getting this right? Well, we need reliable estimates of the prevalence and severity of cybercrime for three primary reasons. First is to provide evidence-based security advice to the public. Second is to help guide the design of security systems. And third is to acknowledge and address inequities in digital victimization. Past research on cybercrime has generally fallen into one of three methodological buckets. The first is market research. These are studies carried out by antivirus vendors such as McAfee or Norton. The primary limitation with these studies is that McAfee or Norton have a vested interest in producing high estimates of cybercrime. Next, we have aggregated consumer complaints, where consumers report that they were the victim of a cybercrime to the FBI or the FTC. The primary limitation with this approach is that only 10% of individuals report when they were the victim of cybercrime. Finally, we have victimization surveys, such as this study. Victimization surveys are the most promising method for estimating the prevalence of cybercrime and be conducted by governments or academic research teams. The most directly relevant study is the e-crime victimization survey in Europe, which created a tailored survey instrument to estimate the prevalence of cybercrime in 6 European countries. This study tries to answer three key research questions. First, what is the prevalence and severity of cybercrime against individuals in the United States? Second, can we improve cybercrime measurement by leveraging network scale-up methods? And third, what inequities exist in cybercrime victimization? For our methods, we develop a tailored survey instrument by first conducting a series of pre-tests and pilot tests to iterate on question wording and show the robustness of our survey. We then conduct a nationally representative probability-based sample through the National Opinion Research Center at the University of Chicago. This is the largest nationally representative study of cybercrime conducted in the United States, and we use direct estimation to ask 1,002 individuals whether they've been the victim of a cybercrime. For our second method, we use network scale-up methods to estimate the prevalence of cybercrime, and we conduct a secondary survey of 10,951 individuals to calculate adjustment factors for this method. We focus on a representative set of 6 cybercrimes: non-delivery, non-payment, extortion, overpayment, advance fee, and credit card banking. We focus on this set of 6 representative cybercrimes because they can be clearly and unambiguously defined in the context of a survey. Additionally, they were high impact and high monetary loss crimes as noted by the FBI. So the network scale-up method is a popular method for estimating the size of stigmatized or hidden population. We theorize that cybercrime victims may be a stigmatized or hidden population because many researchers have conjectured that cybercrime is underreported due to embarrassment or stigma. How the network scale-up method works is that respondents are asked about their connection to others rather than themselves. So, specifically, they're asked first about groups of known size. So, how many people do you know named Rose or David? Then they're asked about groups of hidden or unknown size, such as how many people do you know who were the victim of a non-delivery scam on the internet? The basic network scale-up estimate and the numerator has the total number of connections of all survey respondents to the hidden population, and the denominator, the total number of connections for all respondents in their personal network. So, for example, if we estimate that all respondents in our survey knew 30 connections to the hidden population, cybercrime victims, and 1,000 total people in all of their combined social networks, then our estimate for the prevalence of cybercrime would be 3%. In this figure, we present our estimates of the cybercrime incidence rate. On the y-axis, we show the annualized incidence rate. On the x-axis, we show each of 6 different cybercrimes. The blue point shows the direct estimate. The red point shows the generalized scale-up estimate with 95% confidence intervals. The direct and the generalized network scale-up estimates align closely, with the exception of non-delivery. Non-payment, advance fee, extortion, and overpayment scams all had an estimated incidence rate lower than 0.5%. In terms of the distribution of monetary loss, we see that these scams are relatively modest. Across all 6 scams, we see a median loss of only $100. We then fit a series of logistic regression models to estimate inequities in cybercrime victimization. Here we're reporting the odds ratios. For those age 60 plus, we find a common pattern found in other studies that they are much more likely to be the victim of cybercrime. The one exception is for non-payment or overpayment scams, which as a prerequisite require a victim to be selling a good or a service on the internet. We also find a statistically significant higher likelihood that Black non-Hispanics are the victims of cybercrimes on the internet, with the exception of non-payment and overpayment, which again require selling a good or a service on the internet. In sum, we have 3 key takeaways. First, cybercrime against individuals is rare. Only 2 of the cybercrimes we studied occurred with an incidence rate over 1%. The median loss for all the cybercrimes we studied was only $100. Second, older and Black Americans were more likely to have been the victims of cybercrime, except for scams that involve selling goods online. Finally, our network scale-up estimates served as an important validation check for our direct estimates. However, we did see some low visibility, so people were unlikely to have told others in their network that they were the victim of cybercrimes. This is an important direction both for future methodological research for the network scale-up and for substantive research into cybercrimes and why people rarely share their experiences with others in their network. Thanks very much, and would love to take some questions.